We're here with the Black Epiranga. It's the black edition of the existing Pan-American tech line Battleship. For those unfamiliar with the advantages of black ships, let's reiterate. First, a black ship is obtained fully upgraded. This means you don't need to use blueprints to upgrade the ship. You only need to select the elite bonus. Second, when assigning a commander to a black ship, you don't have to retrain them or spend resources on that training. Third, black ships allow you to use the Black Damage Control Kit and Black Repair Kits, which were released last year. These kits offer better cooldowns, protection, and other benefits compared to standard kits. Considering all these advantages, you might find black ships useful. There are many black warships in the game. Some black ships are arguably weaker or less capable than their tech line counterparts, such as the Black Charles Martel, Black Rune, Black Yamato, Black Amagi, and Black Hindenburg. Each black ship can be evaluated on a case-by-case basis to reveal its specific advantages and disadvantages. However, the advantages of black warships mentioned earlier remain constant. These apply to all of them. Some black ships possess features that the tech line version doesn't have, while others lack certain ship skills found on the original. I've already covered most of what I wanted to say about the Ipiranga in previous content. At that time, this battleship tech line was newly released, and expectations for an Atlantico-like experience were both daunting and high for some players. We quickly realized, through the Libertad experience, that this tech line is essentially built for brawling. But despite its poor dispersion, it's also suitable for sniping due to its excellent penetration and damage capabilities. When comparing the Black Epiranga to the tech line Ipiranga, you'll notice that the secondary battery overload feature has been added to the ship's skills, similar to German brawlers. Modified secondary munitions already provide an additional 20% secondary range, while secondary overload adds another 20% for 15 seconds. This feature is expected to slightly increase the ship's damage per minute. Amount of difference in health points might give you an edge against a weak salvo, or help you survive an extra torpedo hit. However, the truly noteworthy difference is the half-second difference in main gun reload time and the 1 second difference in secondary battery reload. This tech line uses HE for its secondaries, meaning there's no AP option, unlike the German brawlers I keep forgetting to switch. The half-kilometer difference in concealment might seem small, but it's worth mentioning, as it can be useful for ambush attacks and hiding. When capturing areas by using islands, this concealment helps a lot. German brawlers have worse concealment values. At this point, there's no doubt it offers better brawling characteristics, but how much better it is should be considered alongside the black ship advantages mentioned earlier. When we put it all together, we can see that the black version is better on paper, despite the lower main gun range. It would be a mistake to play the Ipiranga, whether black or tech line, as if it were an Atlantico, or to expect the performance of an overpowered ship like that. The Ipiranga requires a more agile, faster, more fragile, and mobile playstyle. Unlike the Atlantico, which makes tier weight a bland environment, the Ipiranga doesn't have that problem. It's a more reasonable and balanced ship. I believe both the Ipiranga and Black Epiranga are viable ships in the current Tier 8 meta. They have high damage potential and the capacity to carry a match. The armor on these ships is definitely not as strong as the Atlanticos, but the Atlantico is clunky and quickly becomes tiresome in terms of gameplay. Once you go to a distant corner of the map, you won't have time to return. But the ship could have had slightly better anti-aircraft capabilities. Honestly, I'm one of those who want stronger deterrent AA on every ship, especially newly released ones. That way, you can keep obsessive aircraft carriers at bay from start to finish, play your own game, and contribute more to the team. Being a black ship, the advantages offered by black consumables provide the ship with additional survivability, which seems to be a good contribution. The ship's main gun AP penetration is inconsistent. When it hits the citadel, you can also see shells that overpen in the relevant footage. Ipiranga has weaker armor compared to German battleships like Brandenburg, Cross of Dorn, and Odin. However, its main gun caliber and damage are higher, supported by better turret traverse and concealment. In a one-on-one brawl, it's unlikely to survive, especially with torpedoes, but its improved acceleration and ability to switch between brawler and sniper modes when needed could change things. But as I said before, the lack of AP shells on secondary batteries, unlike German brawlers, will always limit its damage output. I think we've talked enough about this ship. Until next time, see you later. Feel free to leave your comments, though, about which black ships are worse or incapable than the tech tree versions. And of course, how do you find Black Epiranga?
Penetration! Praise the Emperor! Confirm penetration! The hand of the Emperor guides me! Confirm penetration! The hand of the Emperor guides me! Penetration! Praise the Emperor! Target penetrated! I strike with the Emperor's fist! Confirm penetration! The hand of the Emperor guides me! Target penetrated! I strike with the Emperor's fist! Confirm penetration! The enemy is about to win. A true servant never yields to doubt. Confirm penetration. The hand of the Emperor guides me. Target penetrated. I strike with the Emperor's fist. Confirm penetration. The hand of the Emperor guides me. Penetration. Praise the Emperor. Confirm penetration. The hand of the Emperor guides me. Penetration. Praise the Emperor. Target penetrated. I strike with the Emperor's fist.
Shall offer assistance in his name.
By the Emperor, it shall be done. We shall offer assistance in his name. Enemy force detected. Penetrated! I strike with the Emperor's fist! Fire alarm! Unacceptable! Contain it immediately!
my gratitude.
Confirm penetration! The hand of the Emperor guides me! Penetration! Praise the Emperor! Confirm penetration! The hand of the Emperor guides me! Penetration! Praise the Emperor! We're flooding quickly! Fire alarm! Unacceptable! Contain it immediately! Target penetrated! I strike with the Emperor's fist! Confirm penetration! The hand of the Emperor guides me! Fire alarm! Unacceptable! Contain it immediately! Penetration! Praise the Emperor! Confirm penetration! The hand of the Emperor guides me! Target penetrated! I strike with the Emperor's fist! Confirm penetration! The hand of the Emperor guides me! Target penetrated! I strike with the Emperor's fist! Confirm penetration! The hand of the Emperor of the Imperium! Enemy force sighted on the horizon. Confirm penetration! The hand of the Emperor guides me! Confirm penetration! The hand of the Emperor guides me! Target penetrated! I strike with the Emperor's fist! Penetration! Praise the Emperor guides me! Penetration! Praise the Emperor! Fire alarm! Unacceptable! Contain it immediately! Target penetrated! I strike with the Emperor's fist! Confirm penetration! The hand of the Emperor guides me! Enemy force sighted on the horizon. Confirm penetration! Praise the hand of the Emperor guides me! Target penetrated! I strike with the Emperor's fist!